Hi everyone and welcome back. I Bet This For You TV. We are back again here as the weekend is approaching, and in this big show we will look after the Saturday and Sunday bets, and we will give you all the tips that you need for hopefully a very successful weekend, and we hope that we're going to reach the same great results that we have achieved during the week in the Champions League. We have had some fantastic wins, especially on Wednesday night when we landed two bets of 4-1. That was an extraordinary result, and we really hope that we can continue in the weekend. So for this week, we are changing the format a little bit, and in our weekend show, which is today, we will look after both Saturday and Sunday, and therefore we will have tips for both days. And we're also going to have the expert that will actually give us the tips from the different leagues. Today we will not have Robbie Bill on the Premier League, but we will cover the Premier League ourselves, but he will be back after the international break. While we will also go to Italy and also to Ivalo to give us tips on the Serie A, and also we're gonna get tips on the Bundesliga and Ligue 1 again for the whole weekend. So make sure you subscribe to our channel. All you need to do is to click on the subscribe button. It's completely free and it will allow you to get all the tips that we produce every day here at Bet This For You TV. In addition to that, make sure you hit the bell, as that will allow you to get notifications every time we post a new video. And that's the best way to avoid losing out and missing out on tips, on great tips and winning tips like we have had this week by our expert. Also, ensure that you check in the description, as we place some very important links that will make your life easier if you want to bet some of the tips that we give out in the show. In addition to tips on other things that we released, like the cheat sheets, for example, that have been very successful again this week. So let's move on to look at the bets for Saturday and Sunday in the Premier League. So the first day and the first match, obviously, that we take care is the early kickoff between Manchester United and Everton. So of course you have seen during the week that Manchester United were really struggling against Villarreal, but eventually they managed to get Ronaldo to rescue them once again, and for Solskjaer that was a very, very important win. And it will be interesting to see if they will be able to actually come back and follow up in that result with another win in the league. They really need that after they were defeated by Aston Villa in the last round. So we do see a Manchester United side that they clearly have problems, but they still have a very, very good class in their players. And that is what is actually saving them, and also been saving them in the last season, is when things are getting really tough, they can always change the game and come back into the games like they've done with Villarreal. So if we look at the problems they have, is mostly in defense. In fact, they have kept just one clean sheet in 9 competitive games this season. And considering that Everton are also a team that are struggling to keep clean sheet. In fact, they've conceded in 6 of their 8 games in all competition this season. We do expect to see a very entertaining affair in which goals are likely to come from both ends, and we are therefore starting with the early kickoff by backing both teams will score in this match. After all, we do expect to see a lively affair. Manchester United will have a little bit tired legs after being playing in midweek, and Everton will be buzzing to try to cause problems to a Manchester United that does look vulnerable at the moment. So both teams to score. Another very interesting and open affair at Old Trafford looks the best way to start the weekend in the Premier League. And like I said in the previous show, the way we do in the bet of the day is that we try to predict a match that we are a little bit more comfortable, quite a solid bet that we can actually put as a foundation for our week, for our daily bet. It means that if we can get the bet of the day over the line, whatever happened on our accumulator, it doesn't really matter because you can only make things better and we will be in profit anyway. And that's the strategy that we're going to use today as well. So we're going to put a little bit more on the bet of the day, as you can see in the screen. And hopefully we can lock that in the early kickoff and then look forward to increase the profit possibly with the win in the accumulator. So the way we're gonna continue during the day, we are looking to do a double as well. So the double will start at 3 o'clock with the match between Chelsea and Southampton. So obviously this looks like a little bit of crisis for Thomas Tuchel. It's probably a very early crisis, the first crisis that he had since he arrived last year in replacing Lampard. He's done a fantastic job since then. Of course, he won the Champions League, qualified for the Champions League again, and also he started the new season in a very, very good shape. But in the last two matches, of course, Chelsea didn't look to be as sharp as we have learned to see in the last few months. And after losing against Manchester City at the end of a match where they really didn't do much and they were actually struggling to cause any problems to the citizen, and in that match they let Pep Guardiola's side run the whole show completely, but without that kind of solidity that they've shown in previous months in defense. And then in midweek, we've seen them against Juventus again. In that situation, they looked once again very shaky at the back. They were quite slow. They let Juventus come out in many different occasions, especially in counter-attack after Juventus scoring with Chiesa. They missed chances. Lukaku didn't really look look like he's in great form at the moment. So this is probably concerning for Tuchel, and he will want to get this side come back in the Premier League with a strong win, a confident win, and that will bring the morale back. And although we do see that Chelsea will be a little bit tired from the match they played against Juventus, we still expect them to come out flying. They will want to make a bold statement that they are still the team that we have learned to see in the last few months. And they take on a Southampton side that have been very, very poor in this start of the season. We've seen them against Wolves, for example, in the last weekend, but their campaign has been terrible. They lost, of course, several players, and they haven't been able to replace, and they look really weak in attacks without Ings. They haven't found a solution, and although they will try to go Stamford Bridge and try to frustrate a Chelsea side that are going through a little bit of patchy period, we don't see that they will be able to do that. So we do expect Chelsea to win this match comfortably, and we expect them to win it, to be leading already at the first half. So we're backing Chelsea to win both halves against Southampton, and that is the first selection of our Saturday double for the Premier League. The second selection of the Saturday double will come from the late kickoff, and it's coming from the Amex Stadium, where Arsenal are traveling to take on the biggest surprise package of the Premier League so far, Brighton. Of course, Brighton are up there with the big guys. They have had a fantastic start of the season. Graham Potter is showing once again that he's a fantastic coach. They probably deserve a lot better than Brighton, with all the respect for the Seagulls. And we do. So they will fancy their chances against Arsenal, but we do think that they will find an Arsenal side that it will not be easy to beat. They are coming in great form, in great confidence. They won the last 3 games, and most importantly, they won the derby, the North London derby, with a clear 3-1 in the last weekend. So Mikel Arteta will want to follow up that performance. He's got some young players in great form, like Emile Smith-Rowe, but also Saka is back now to full form, and Aubameyang is scoring goals again. So definitely they are a foundation. This Arsenal side looks now a proper side, and they don't look like to be as weak as we've seen in the first couple of games. If we need to look also at those games, we can see that they were missing quite a lot of players, and now they are back, and they are back in good form. And for example, White did a very good match in the last in the derby, and so we do see a very entertaining affair at the Amex Stadium. Of course, Brighton are in great form as well. Although if we've been looking Brighton very carefully in the Monday night match against Crystal Palace, and although they managed to get a point at the end, they didn't look as fresh as they were in the previous games. Of course, they were away from home and it was a derby, but we see that they probably reached the peak already a little bit, and now they will probably move on and still manage to get decent positions in the table and still good results, but they might struggle against the biggest team. And with Arsenal in such a form, we believe there is a good opportunity to back Arsenal to win this match, to win their fourth match in a row, and really to make a big statement in regards of their campaign. So we believe there is value. It's going to be tight and tough, but Arsenal, for what we've seen, have the quality to win this match, and definitely is value in the odds. So that's our double for Saturday for the Premier League. Now let's go immediately to Italy, as we have our local expert Luca Semproni. They will give us the tips for the weekend in the Serie A and La Liga, and then we will be back here as we gonna go to our expert Bundesliga and Ligue 1 expert Ivalo, that will also give us the tips on those two leagues for Saturday and Sunday. And then we will be back here, so don't go away, because we're gonna give you then the tips on Sunday Premier League. So obviously we have a fantastic game ahead of us, Liverpool against Manchester City, and also we're gonna provide you a double for Sunday on the Premier League. So there is a lot to go through and a lot of betting opportunities for you. So make sure you stay tuned and you stay here watching with us. So I can see that Luca Semproni is ready, and let's go immediately to Luca and see what suggestion he has for the Serie A and La Liga for this weekend. Luca, that's over to you.
Ciao Simone, come al solito benvenuti a tutte le persone che ci seguono su Betting Tips for You. Oggi parliamo di campionato italiano e di Liga, prima delle pause per le nazionali, tra l'altro Italia e Spagna, che si affronteranno proprio nella partita di National League. Oggi voglio proporvi per sabato una doppia, campionato italiano e spagnolo, e una singola. Per domenica invece voglio proporvi una tripla e ancora una singola con un marcatore. Per quanto riguarda sabato voglio proporvi Torino-Juve 2. Il Torino viene da 2 vittorie, 2 pareggi e 2 sconfitte. L'ultima partita un modesto 1-1 col Venezia fuori casa. La squadra di Juric è partita male, si è ripresa però nelle ultime partite, ecco, però un campionato anomalo comunque per adesso sta facendo, ancora non si capisce dove potrebbe arrivare questa squadra. La Juve invece 2 vittorie, 2 pareggi e 2 sconfitte in questo cammino in campionato, viene a 3 vittorie consecutive e 2 in campionato, dopo l'ultima partita ha vinto 3-2 con la Sampdoria, e l'1-0 importantissimo con il Chelsea in Champions, tra l'altro a punteggio pieno. Sembra, almeno mi sembra, che la squadra di Allegri stia carburando, stia iniziando a vincere, e quando Allegri inizia a vincere poi ecco non si ferma più, non è la prima volta che comunque recupera in campionato, essendo partito molto male. È successo all'inizio della carriera con il Cagliari, ha proseguito poi con Milan e Juventus, quindi ecco mi aspetto che la Juve vinca, anche perché deve assolutamente recuperare punti e ha poi una storia molto favorevole nel derby. Quindi Torino-Juve 2. La seconda partita che voglio consigliarvi è Atletico Madrid-Barcellona. L'Atletico Madrid, campione di Spagna, 4 vittorie, 2 pareggi ed una sconfitta. Nell'ultima partita ha perso 1-0 con l'Alaves, l'altra partita che avevo consigliato. È stato veramente molto sfortunato, perché assolutamente non meritava di perdere, ha dominato la partita, ha sbagliato molti gol l'Atletico, ecco, insomma meritava il pareggio, ma forse addirittura la vittoria. Atletico però si è rifatto in Champions con il Milan, dove dopo essere stato in svantaggio per 1-0 per gran parte della partita, l'ha ribaltata nel finale con rigore di Luis Suarez molto contestato, e è andato a vincere 2-1. Il Barcellona invece è ancora imbattuto in campionato, 3 vittorie e 3 pareggi, ma comunque sta giocando male obiettivamente. È vero che ha vinto 3-0 in casa con il Levante l'ultima, ma come abbiamo detto in fase di presentazione dei campionati, secondo me quest'anno assolutamente non è tra i favoriti per la vittoria della Liga e me lo sta confermando. Perché? Per varie motivazioni, perché comunque il Barcellona è stato travolto dalla crisi finanziaria, ha perso Messi e adesso l'allenatore Koeman comunque in discussione ha perso poi ecco 3-0 scusate, in maniera netta con il Benfica, una squadra veramente in grande difficoltà. Ecco perché mi aspetto l'Atletico vincente con il Barcellona. Puoi dare a questa doppia una confidenza media perché ecco, secondo me può uscire, però sono due partite, una un derby e una partita comunque tra due squadre importanti, quindi ecco, voglio dare una competenza media. Per quanto riguarda invece la singola, voglio consigliarvi sul Sassuolo Inter. Mi aspetto la vittoria dell'Inter e che l'Inter vinca il secondo tempo. Il Sassuolo, 2 vittorie, un pareggio e 3 sconfitte in questo campionato, l'ultima ha vinto 1-0 con la Salernitana. È una squadra che è un po' differente rispetto a quella che avevamo visto con De Zerbi, è una squadra che con Dionisi attacca di meno, è più guardinga e fa un gioco probabilmente magari meno sproveggiante, però comunque subisce anche di meno rispetto a De Zerbi che faceva un gioco molto all'attacco, un pressing molto alto e subiva tanti gol. Quest'anno il Sassuolo ne subisce di meno, però è anche vero appunto che ne segna meno. L'Inter invece 4 vittorie e 2 pareggi in questo campionato, nell'ultima 2-2 con l'Atalanta, dove però l'Inter comunque poi ha sbagliato anche il rigore del possibile 3-2 con Di Marco, avrebbe vinto la partita nel finale. Il dato importante è che appunto oltre al 2 secondo me l'Inter è favorita sul campo del Sassuolo. Per quanto riguarda la vittoria del secondo tempo è che l'Inter ha vinto 5 partite, 5 secondi tempi su 6. È una squadra che nel secondo tempo accelera, va più forte e riesce a vincere. Quindi, ripeto, vittoria dell'Inter, quindi 2 e vittoria dell'Inter nel secondo tempo. Voglio dare anche in questo caso una confidenza media perché comunque può essere sempre una partita insidiosa perché il Sassuolo ecco, è sempre comunque una buona squadra. Per quanto riguarda invece domenica, voglio consigliarvi, come vi dicevo, una tripla, quindi Espanyol Real Madrid 2, l'Espanyol una vittoria, 3 pareggi e 3 sconfitte in questa liga. L'ultima partita ha perso 2-0 con il Siviglia, una squadra che non è partita bene, con una sola vittoria. Il Real Madrid invece 5 vittorie e 2 pareggi. L'ultimo risultato 0-0 in casa con il Villarreal, è stato un risultato un po' deludente, ha giocato male il Real Madrid che è stato poi clamorosamente sconfitto dallo Sheriff in Champions. Però il dato importante è che il Real Madrid quest'anno fuori casa va fortissimo perché comprese le coppe ha vinto 5 partite su 6 disputate fuori casa. Ecco perché mi aspetto Spagnolo Real Madrid 2. Poi la seconda partita è Atalanta-Milan, gol di entrambe. Atalanta 3 vittorie, 2 pareggi e una sconfitta, viene da 2-2 con l'Inter rocambolesco, deve passare in svantaggio, poi ha recuperato, vinceva 2-1, 2-2 dell'Inter e poteva perdere agli ultimi minuti con il rigore sbagliato da Di Marco. Il dato che mi fa giocare il gol di entrambi è che comunque è uscito in 4 su 6 partite disputate dall'Atalanta. Il Milan invece 5 vittorie e un pareggio, partito fortissimo in campionato. L'ultima ha vinto 2-1 fuori casa con lo Spezia. Milan sfortunatissimo in Champions, l'Atletico Madrid, bella partita ma ha perso comunque 2-1 nel finale. 3 volte su 6, 3 gare disputate su 6 è uscito il gol di entrambe, quindi ripeto, Atalanta-Milan gol di entrambe. La terza partita su cui voglio scommettere è Roma-Empoli 1, la Roma 4 vittorie e 2 sconfitte in questo campionato, l'ultima pesantissima 3-2 nel derby. Però ecco, è comunque una squadra che è partita, una squadra comunque è partita bene anche perché in Coppa anche le ha vinte tutte. Dato importante è che la Roma ha vinto 5 partite su 5 disputate in casa, ecco in casa va molto forte. L'Empoli invece 3 vittorie e 3 sconfitte, l'ultima partita ha vinto 4-2 in casa con il Bologna, una squadra che gioca bene, che segna ma che subisce, quindi è una squadra che non pareggia, perde o vince perché fino adesso 3 vittorie e 3 sconfitte. La Roma è superiore, ecco, dovrebbe vincere la partita anche per riscattarsi dopo la sconfitta nel derby. Mourinho che ha fatto riposare in Conference League molti titolari e quindi la squadra arriverà riposata contro l'Empoli. Quindi ricapitolando, la tripla è Espanyol, Real Madrid 2, Atalanta, Milan, gol di entrambi, Roma, Empoli 1. Voglio dare anche in questo caso una confidenza media perché è sempre una tripla. La singola invece che voglio consigliarvi è gol di Vlahovic in Fiorentina-Napoli. Vlahovic che ha fatto 4 gol, ha segnato 4 gol in 6 partite e lo scorso anno è stato assoluto dominatore del campionato con 21 gol, un giocatore veramente forte che, come vi dicevo l'anno scorso ve l'ho consigliato tante volte, secondo me ecco, a breve farà il salto di qualità con tutto il rispetto per la Fiorentina e per i suoi tifosi. Vlahovic secondo me è destinato veramente a grandi squadre. Ve lo consiglio perché è una partita, lui è uno che segna nelle partite importanti e poi come vi dico sempre è un rigorista, un Napoli che tra l'altro viene anche dalla sconfitta rocambolesca in Coppa, è una Fiorentina che è partita molto forte e quindi il gol di Vlahovic ci può stare. Anche in questo caso do una confidenza media. Vi ricordo come al solito di giocare responsabilmente, vi invito a iscrivervi al nostro sito, a mettere mi piace a questo video e che le spiegazioni sono presenti nel video stesso. Come al solito vi saluto, auguro un buon calcio a tutti e ritratti la linea Simone. Ciao a tutti ragazzi, ciao a tutti.
Thank you very much, Luca, and let's hope that we can get winnings from Italy and Spain as we have had in the past. Luca has been in fantastic form all over the European Cup and also has been tipping some great bets, great winning bets in recent times. So let's hope that he can continue that. And now let's move immediately to see also what other European opportunities are out there with Ivalo, our expert that will give us the tips on the Bundesliga and La Ligue 1 for for this weekend, also Saturday and Sunday. I can see Ivalo is connected with us, so that's over to you.
Hello, it's time for the matches of the 7th round in the German Bundesliga. The main favorites in the league have started on a level, and the top 4 are currently Bayern Munich, Bayer Leverkusen, Wolfsburg, and Borussia Dortmund. The black and yellows have been on a roll in the Bundesliga so far and are without a draw with 4 wins and 2 losses. On Saturday, Borussia Dortmund's opponent will be Augsburg, who has not impressed since the beginning of the season and in the provisional standings occupy the 15th position with an asset of only 5 points after 6 games played. Dortmund is unbeaten so far at home and has 3 wins from 3 games played against Eintracht, Hoffenheim and Union Berlin, and separately congratulated itself with success at Signal Iduna Park against Sporting Lisbon during the week in a Champions League match. Borussia played a solid game against Sporting, who is the champion of Portugal, and didn't allow many dangers in front of their goal. And I think this win will give the squad even more confidence for an emphatic win against Augsburg on Saturday. As unconvincing as Augsburg have been since the start of the season, the team have only recorded 1 loss in their 3 away games, and that came in the last round with 3-0 win against Freiburg. Of course, lost against Freiburg. I expect something similar as a result at Signal Iduna Park on Saturday. With this match, we start today's accumulator, and the prediction is handicap minus 1 goal for Borussia Dortmund and a win for Borussia Dortmund with minus 1 goal in handicap. We continue with the match between Wolfsburg and Borussia Mönchengladbach, an interesting match between 2 worthy teams, but they are in different states. For maybe 9 months now, Borussia Mönchengladbach can't find their game, while in that time Wolfsburg has been racking up win after win and have started the current campaign properly as well. The interesting thing in this case is that Wolfsburg is unbeaten in their last 4 games. But let's not forget that 2 of them were in the Champions League, plus 1 against Eintracht in the Bundesliga. Some will say that the Wolves are in a mini crisis or crisis, but I don't think so exactly. I'm expecting a win for Wolfsburg against Borussia Mönchengladbach, and will officially point to an outcome for the home side as prediction. But the more risk-minded among you, you may even look for a more convincing result in that direction. Today's accumulator ends with these 2 games. The bet of the day for Saturday's Bundesliga games is the one between Leipzig and Bochum. Leipzig is not enjoying the dream start in the league, and that is clear for everyone to see. Worse still, the team is also performing disastrously in the Champions League, where it has conceded 2 losses in its first 2 games and conceded a total of 8 goals. I don't see how Leipzig's Champions League adventure will continue, but let's get back to the upcoming match against Bochum. Taking a look at Leipzig's last home game in the Bundesliga, we can be shocked that team with such a performance since the beginning of the season was able to win 6-0, and the victim was Hertha. Leipzig has been playing at amplitudes since the start of the season, and what's worse is that they've been mainly negative. And speaking of Leipzig's bad situation, what about Bochum, where the situation is even more negative? Conceded 10 goals in the last 3 games of the team, given that in the last round the squad of Thomas Reis finished 0-0 with Stuttgart do not look good. As unconvincing as Leipzig is, so I expect a convincing win on Saturday, and my prediction is a win for Leipzig and both teams to score no. Let's repeat, a win for Leipzig and both teams to score no. Summing up for the accumulator, I picked a handicap -1 for Borussia Dortmund against Augsburg, and win for Wolfsburg against Borussia Mönchengladbach. And as the safest bet, I point to a win for Leipzig against Bochum, and both teams to score. Goal, no. Now we are moving to the French Ligue 1. Today we will take a look at the matches from Sunday's schedule in the French League 1. 8 matches await us on Sunday in France, and we will focus on 4 of them. 3 in the accumulator and 1 bet of the day, which should be the safest bet. We start with the 3 games in the accumulator. Surprisingly for me, given the kickoff time as early as midday, Paris Saint-Germain are away to Rennes. But what better way to start our day, at least for those who sleep in until later. A glance at the odds shows that a win for the Parisians is priced well, and I think it should happen. Mauricio Pochettino's squad is on a run of 4 consecutive wins in all competitions. The latest the latest of these wins, I mean, was impressive, to say the least. 2-0 over Manchester City in the Champions League. Before that, Paris Saint-Germain also won in the last 3 rounds in Ligue 1. Somehow, the transfers in the team, all the stars wearing the jersey of the club, create a feeling that we should expect something more from Paris Saint-Germain than what they have offered us since the beginning of the season. But to look at the statistics shows that the Parisians won all their games in League One, and in the Champions League they managed to beat last year finalist Manchester City, who is considered the favorite in the tournament this year. Paris Saint-Germain are going according to plan, and I expected a routine win over Rennes, who have been anything but convincing since the start of the season, and I predict the first half final outcome in Paris Saint-Germain's favor. The next game in today's accumulator is the one between Monaco and Bordeaux. I had mentioned it in previous videos that I expect Monaco to get into a rhythm and give the coach and the squad they have it makes sense. Monaco have achieved victories in their last two games in League One and are off to an excellent start in the Europa League, and I don't think there is a more logical outcome than win over Bordeaux, who for once are starting the season with high expectations, but they are not materializing. I will be more conservative here and predict just win for Monaco. No risk here. We end the accumulator with prediction for the match between Lille and Olympique Marseille. Lille is doing everything in the league so far other than presenting themselves as the current champion. This was to be expected for me, given the club's conduct of the transfer window in the summer and the change of head coach. It may sound far-fetched to some, but in my opinion, the ninth place that Lille currently occupy in is unlikely to be much different from the team's position at the end of the season, and at the risk of being even more extreme, I think that Lille may not finish in the top 10 this campaign. Most of you are probably already aware of my prediction before we even started talking about Olympique Marseille. Yes, you guessed it, my prediction is a win for Olympique Marseille, and the odds are excellent, so nothing is stopping you from taking advantage of it. We have come to the bet of the day. It was hard to pick a specific match, but the one I picked is the match between the teams of Saint-Étienne and Lyon, the latter against the 7th. After 5 losses in a row and 3 draws before that, hardly many people think that Saint-Étienne will successfully challenge Lyon. It's of course possible that this could happen. However, we are giving predictions here. We can't be sure of anything, but still the odds for Lyon win are very good. I won't take any chances because ever Saint-Étienne will improve their performance and start to win points, but I think Lyon will congratulate themselves on Sunday's success. I predict a win for the visitors. Let's sum up my tips for the Sunday's round in League One. The accumulator consists of 3 matches, and they are first half final result in favor of PSG against Rennes, victory for Monaco against Bordeaux, and victory for Olympique Marseille against Rennes. The bet of the day is win for Lyon away to Saint-Étienne. And good luck with the bets. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the like button in support. See you soon.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Ivalo. Let's hope that we can get more doubles and trebles and bet of the days wins in those two leagues. Ivalo started with us this year and has been in fantastic form so far. You can see all the winning bets at bettingtipsforyou.com if you navigate to the section betting tips for you. So our weekend show continues now, as I promised before, with Premier League Sunday. So we have a fantastic game ahead of us, and of course, we all look forward to enjoy this with a winning bet, and let's see if we can do it. So obviously, Liverpool and Manchester City will clash at Anfield. It's the league number one against the league number two. They go head to head, so it's very very interesting for the not just for the spectacle but also for the title race to see who can make a very early statement in this season. And obviously, both teams have started very well, but there have also been situations where they drop points this year. For example, Liverpool have dropped points in draws against Chelsea and Brentford last weekend. For instance, in a crazy game, they ended 3-3. And Manchester City as well, although they won against Chelsea in the last weekend, they lost the first game of the season against Spurs, and then also they missed an opportunity a few weekends ago against Southampton when they drew 0-0 at home. So also both teams are coming into this clash with a little bit of tired legs probably because they played in the Champions League. Manchester City had a much more difficult opponent as they traveled to Paris to face Paris Saint-Germain, and were done by a great goal scored by Messi. I'm sure you all have enjoyed it. And while Liverpool won 5-1 away to Porto, of course, the Porto are not the same level as Paris Saint-Germain, but still that was a very impressive performance from Jurgen Klopp's men. But the same can be said for Pep Guardiola's Man City, as even if you look at the final result, Paris Saint-Germain won 2-0. If you have watched the game, you will know that Manchester City dominated the game for most of the time, and obviously missed a lot of big opportunities like the one from Bernardo Silva in an open goal. So definitely they could have had a little bit more luck, and more if they were a little bit more cynical, they could have had the results there. So of course, two teams that are great teams and they are coming in good form. So we do expect to see a rather interesting affair. However, from a betting point of view, we don't think that both managers will go out and attack and risk a lot so early in the season, and also considering that they're both playing the Champions League, they will probably be quite satisfied with a draw that will keep both very, very solidly in the race for the title. Will not cause too many problems in terms of morale. And after all, if we look at the recent matches between those two sides, yes, Manchester City managed to win last year at Anfield, but now we have an Anfield that is back in full capacity, is buzzing, and Liverpool looks like is much benefiting from this situation. So we do expect Liverpool to be able to keep up with City and at least get a draw. And so the draw is the value for us, and that's where we're going to place our best bet of the day. It's a little bit risky than the normal bet of the day, but we have lowered a little bit the risk on the double. So that overall, we stand a good chance of ending Sunday in the profit, because that's what we want to do. We always do our bets, so make sure that overall we end up in profit. That's not always happening, of course, because football and gambling and betting is not predictable to a certain level, but that's what we're aiming over time to achieve. So, and I'm sure if you've been following us in the last year or so, you will know that this is what we do, and we have had a very good satisfaction. So let's hope to continue in that way. So that's the bet of the day. So Liverpool and Manchester City draw, and for Sunday, and for the double on the Premier League, we are going with an innovative double, as we are considering just goal scorers this time, because we think that there are good opportunities. So the first one is coming from the match between Crystal Palace and Leicester. Of course, who can we pick as a goal scorer in this match? Of course, we should and have to pick Jamie Vardy. He has had a fantastic start of the new season. He has already scored 5 goals in the Premier League. And normally he does that when he starts to score, he continue to score, and he score a lot. And we've seen in the last campaign. Then when he starts maybe to pick up an injury or start to stop scoring, then maybe he drop that kind of form and he score less goals. But now he's in a moment where he's really, every time he touch the ball, he score. And the former England international scored 3 times in the last 2 games for the Foxes. And also the last 2 goals have come away from the King Power Stadium. So we definitely fancy Vardy to get on the score sheet in the weekend. After all, Crystal Palace are not the strongest defense that is in the Premier League, and also with Patrick Vieira that is trying to play a more offensive football, a more expensive football. We do believe that they are leaving some space at the back, and we've seen that in the last in the Monday night, for example, against Brighton, where they were unable to preserve the lead that they had. So we do expect Vardy to score, and you can see this is the first selection of our double. The second selection of our double is coming from the match between Tottenham and Aston Villa. Of course, Tottenham are in need of goal, and they are expecting their big men to come in and score goals, and we believe that this is going to happen in the weekend. Tottenham absolutely need points after being defeated badly by Arsenal in the North London derby. And Harry Kane so far has not scored in the Premier League, but has been delivering 1.8 shots and also 0.8 shot on target in the 6 games that he played for Tottenham, and also had 2 big miss opportunities against an Aston Villa side that looked pretty vulnerable at the back. We backing Kane to find his first goal of the Premier League, and this is the double for the Premier League for Sunday. So it's Jamie Vardy to score and it's Harry Kane to score, and we really hope that we can celebrate this great Super Sunday with some more wins. So make sure you subscribe to our channel and also hit the bell so you can get notifications every time you post a new video. And please put a big likes if you have liked this show, or if we manage to win some bets. So that will allow us to grow the channel further and produce more and more videos for you. And also don't forget, all the links are in the description below, and that if you decide to play some bets, we wish you good luck here from here at Bet This For You TV. But always remember to gamble responsibly. We will be back next week, but for the time being, enjoy the weekend, and I will see you very soon. Bye now.